Welcome to the She Builds Show. I'm your host, Stefanie Olson, a licensed general contractor who builds new construction, renovates, and designs your vision. Today, more than ever, we need raw, authentic women who are willing to rise above society's norms, break those glass ceilings, and encourage each other to boldly build the life we were meant to live. So, honey, what are you building? Welcome to the She Builds Show. I'm currently walking on a levee, so if you hear my dog breathing next to me, that's Dottie. She's a cute yellow lab. Well, I just want to have a real talk with you today. The last couple days have been, some of the hardest days I've had in a really long time. My husband, we just found out last night that he's facing a disc fusion in his back. Basically, they have to cut him open from belly button to groin, move all his organs, and then put hardware on the front of his spine. And then a day later, I don't really quite know all about it, but they do something to his back. They cut open his back and connect the screws or something. And, we thought he had just needed a discectomy. And so I'm so grateful right now that we know it's wrong and that we have a path to fix it. We have no idea when surgery is. And so he actually came home, and I just went on this walk because I literally don't know what else to do. I have 3 kids, a full-time job, and my husband at home that I don't know how I'm going to feed 3 meals a day and give him the 35 medicines he's on every single day to keep his pain in check until he can have surgery. And last night, I kind of had to break that news to my kids, and all I was trying to do to kind of cheer up and lift up my daughter was tell her, let's find everything that we can be grateful for. Let's find ways where God showed up for us. And we had a kind of crazy thing happen at a different hospital and got discharged. And, in that moment, we were really, really, really upset. But then now with this new hospital and what we found out, we were like, oh my gosh, God saved us from a surgery that could have been terrible for him. And so we were just trying to find all these ways to be grateful. And my daughter was just convinced that there was absolutely nothing good about what is happening. I ended up needing to get an MRI CD, and it was such a crazy story. I ended up they were closed, and I'm knocking and pounding on this door to try to get somebody to show up. And I'm literally in a ball of tears because I needed this MRI and I didn't want to have to drive back, another hour and a half to where it was left. And this lady walks out and she burns the CD for me after hours and slides it through the crack. And I'm telling my daughter this story, look, God showed up, let's be grateful. And, that daddy's going to be okay. And we know what's wrong with him. And we're going to be strong for him. And, I started teaching her about the things that she tells herself in her mind, because that's really the work that I've been doing lately, is just really focusing and bringing awareness to what I'm thinking. And if it's just on repeat and I'm not aware of it. And, Sonora, my daughter, just kept saying out loud, Daddy is never coming home. He's going to be gone forever, And I'm it's so interesting, the things that our brain tells us. There's no way that's true. And it's probably going to only be a couple weeks, before he can get surgery. And I just really tried to break it down to her in a small, childlike way of, baby, do you think we could replace that thought with something else? What about 2 weeks is going to fly by? Or 2 weeks is such a short amount of time. And I go, can you believe any of those things? Is that believable to you? And she's like, yeah, I think, actually 2 weeks can fly by. Then I Googled how many weeks she'd been alive, and she'd been alive 573 weeks. So I said, yeah, I think 2 weeks can fly by. And then I said, okay, well, what kind of feeling does that give you in your body? She's like, well, it's nothing. I'm like, okay, well, that's good. Neutral, no feeling is great. Because the other thought of daddy's going to be gone forever and he's never coming home, that evokes this feeling of sadness and just despair in her. And so what I'm learning is that sometimes you need what's called like a bridge thought, where you realize that the thing that you're thinking over and over and over again, you don't like how that thought makes you feel because, our thoughts determine our feelings determine our actions, and our actions determine our results. And I wanted her to be able to just start to be aware of what her brain was just kind of saying over and over again. And could she replace it with, actually, nice try, brain. 2 weeks it can go by super fast. And let that just kind of neutralize the thought that was bringing her all of this pain and sadness. And, it's not like that I ignored her pain, and we just kind of cried ourselves to sleep last night. And it was just interesting, like when you learn a new concept, to try to teach it in a way that's simplified to somebody, like your child. And I tried to tell her that, like, if I could just, like, out of all the things I know, out of all the things in the world that I've learned about business and investing and cash flow and money and being a parent and a mother and a wife and, just taking care of my body and my home, all of the things that I invest in and all of the things that I do, I'm like, if I could only teach you this thing, that would be it. That is what I would choose to do. I wouldn't teach you how to flip a house. I wouldn't teach you how to be this or that. Like, I would teach you how to manage your mind. I would teach you how to take care of your thoughts, because, oh my gosh, child, if you can capture that concept before you're 40, like, you're going to be light years ahead of me. And it's just, I don't know, it's been an interesting kind of shift, because I think it's been something I struggled with. I think we all do. Most of our lives, we just have these like recurring awful thoughts, and we're never just like aware of them. And to have a way to transition them into something that can help your business. And I've really been thinking about that lately. Like, how can what I think create possibilities for me? How can how I think and what I think and how it makes me feel push me into things that I've wanted to do, or dreams that I've had for a long time that I haven't done? And I'm just going to speak it out loud right now. I want to create the She Builds School. And my dream, my dream is to take everything that I know about construction and building, and actually, everything that this podcast is to me about just a well-rounded woman in all of life. I want a place where you can go where I can teach these things. And, at first I thought, oh man, this just needs to be like a brick and mortar thing, like where people come and like we can teach hands-on skills. And, and I was like, what? I want to access more people. I want to teach more people. And I was like, the She Builds School needs to be like an online community of places where a place where people can go to learn all of these things. And I am just like absolutely terrified of this dream. And I've been listening to like Brooke Castillo's The Possibility Formula. And she's just like, the first thing you do is just retrain your thoughts. And she actually she makes you pick a number, right? Like, how much money do you want to make? And so like a number pops up in your head and you got to like write it down. And she's like, okay, well, what are you going to offer? How she questions it is, how are you going to bring value? What value are you going to offer to the world? And I'm just like, I have a million things that comes up, but you have to pick one. And then who are you going to be giving it to? Who's your people? And, I've been thinking through this, and I'm like, should I start with something like how to flip a house, or, how to just change your faucet? And you can come in, and I'm thinking, oh man, we can get all these different amazing women pros to teach these courses, like, how to do your tile or your drywall, or, how to invest, how to plan for retirement, how to just manage your mind, how to be an incredible mother, how to balance business and your personal life. And I'm not saying in any way I've made it, in all of those things. I am far from perfect and have a long way to go. But man, I love to teach, and I love to share my knowledge, and I love to I feel like in a place where I can put it out there to share what I've learned and the knowledge I've gained, because I love learning, and, originally went to school to be a teacher, and I love teaching.
And so I just want to create this place where I get to love you in the way that like I show love by sharing this information with you. And I feel, this tornness, being torn, like, okay, well, it's the She Build School. Is it like we only build like actual things like houses and remodels? And are we only just building physical things? And it's just never been that for me. Like when She Builds was born, like in my heart, it was deeper than that. I wanted a place where I could teach a well-rounded, solid, amazing, gorgeous woman, person that is just excited to take on life and is excited to grow and feels the fear and does it anyway. And I just wanted a place where I could create that and share that because, I'm just so limited right now with like, okay, yes, I'm going to go build your house or I'm going to do this remodel for you and create these beautiful spaces. But I want to be able to take everything I've learned and how to treat those amazing customers and, how to make sure I'm still showing up for every soccer game and picking my kids up from school and how I delegate those tasks to make sure that I'm the one showing up to pick them up, not somebody else. Because I feel like I made that mistake too long. So that's my dream. And that's the possibility that's out there for me and something that I am going to do and I'm going to create. And I think the most dangerous word that you could use in your vocabulary is, I don't know how to. Oh, honey, that's such a lie. That's such a lie. Because the most dangerous words are, I don't know. Because that's what comes up in our brain, right? When I put that dream out there and I'm like, She Builds School, my immediate response is like, well, you don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. And the response to that is like, we always look outside of ourselves. We're always taught like, go ask the teacher, go find the information in a book. We never look inside of ourselves for the answer. And really like truly everything that we want to offer to the world and add value, we already know. And we know how to be able to write down all of the ideas. Like I just listed off all of the things that could be inside the She Build School. And all my brain can tell me is I don't know how to do it. But I just gave you all of those things just out of thin air that I want to do. So I do know. You do know. You do know. You know how you add value. And you know that you can do it. And the possibility is absolutely available to you. Brooke teaches this crazy concept, which I still cannot wrap my mind around, of like actually living in that time where you've achieved that goal. You've made that money, you've given that value, you've achieved it. And what does it feel like? And you need to live there. I'm, Stefanie Olson, I created the She Build School. It's a massive success. Can't believe how many people I have helped, how many women now feel more empowered to take on things in their life, both personally and professionally, and just freaking taking care of crap at their house and not feeling like they can't do something. And just, it's changed my life. And so that's me just like living as if it's come true. And the more we can live in this place, like the less it becomes scary. And there's the more possibility of you quitting lessons because you're like, oh no, it's so real. It's so absolutely there. And I know this sounds super kooky, but it like actually is the most incredible thing because the fear dissipates when it's like, oh no, been there, done that. We were on that road. We're on that path. I made it. And when the more you live there, it's like the dream feels more in reach and it gives you more confidence and just such a beautiful kind of like journey I'm swimming through right now, and I'm really trying to not completely lose myself and not completely let this dream I have dissipate because of the current circumstances of my life with my husband and all of this doctor stuff. And, I haven't handled it well today, but I'm just trying to regather and, refocus and just went for a walk and hanging out with my dogs, enjoying nature, listening to the birds and the crickets, and reground myself and go, okay, I'm going to love my husband well. I'm going to take care of him. And I'm also going to pursue my dreams and run my business and do it well and love my kids and take care of myself. Because that's the kind of woman I want to be. That's the kind of woman I'm building. And that's the kind of woman I want to help you build in the She Builds School someday. All right, my beautiful friends, kick ass today. All right, bye.
Thanks for joining me today on the She Builds Show. My name is Stefanie Olson. My hope is that this episode leaves you feeling empowered and ready to boldly take that step into building the life that you envision, 1 2x4 at a time. And if you can do me a quick favor, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes. I get giddy over reading the reviews each week, and I will choose one special person to win some She Builds swag. Make sure you add your name to the review, and I'll reach out if you're the winner. Thanks again for hanging out. Be sure to visit me at theshebuildshow.com, where you can ask me questions and share with me what you're building.